Up with KREM begins now.
Hi everyone, good Monday morning to you. Thanks so much for joining us here on Up with KREM at the 6 o'clock hour. I'm Tim Pham. We also want to welcome you in if you're streaming us on KREM 2 Plus. Well, let's get you up and ready for the day as we kick off a brand new week with meteorologist Thomas Patrick. Thomas, we're starting off this week on a warm note. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Tim. It is absolutely warm outside because, let's face it, 50 degrees right now, not just mild for the season, but that could be one of our warmest low temperatures we've had in several months. I can't even remember the last time that we started a day at 50 degrees. You probably got to go back to last fall, maybe last summer, for the last time we had temperatures this warm. Why is it this warm? Well, the answer is in those wind speeds. Currently at about 15 miles per hour, gusting up to 37. That from earlier in the morning. It is the wind that is quite literally transporting the warmer weather. That's why we have temperatures that stay mild at night and will give us a nice bump for the daytime here. So our current temperature right at 50 degrees. That so far has been our low for the day. Still a bit cloudy out there this morning and maybe a few leftover showers from yesterday. Still lingering mostly for the mountains right now. Otherwise, it is just a cloudy, mild, but breezy start to this Monday.
Here's a live look at the traffic impact this morning of I-90, and this is near the state line where you can see some traffic slowdowns happening. So we're working to figure out what's going on here as the traffic volume seems to be kind of piling up in both directions, really. We'll keep a close eye on this situation. We'll bring you another update here as soon as we get more details. On Up with KREM, we do keep a close eye of traffic. We bring you weather and traffic together every 30 minutes. This morning, we are saying thank you to the Gonzaga men's basketball team after an amazing season. The Zags lost to 1-seed Houston in the second round of the NCAA tournament on Saturday night. However, the Zags did not go down without a fight, clawing back to within 1 point of the Cougars with just seconds left in the game. Graham Ike led the squad with 27 points. Caleb Battle in tow with 17. It was not enough, though, with the Zags falling short 81-76. Sports Director Andrew Quinn is in Wichita with the team's reaction and the seniors' final goodbyes.
Well, unfortunately, there will be no decade of sweetness for the Gonzaga men's basketball team, but boy, did they take a heck of a crack at it, cutting an 11-point deficit down to just one in the final 2 minutes of the game against Houston, showing the heart that this team had been building all throughout the regular season.
You know, we had some lessons learned, and that last 3 minutes, 4 minutes, we put all that in one and try to get come back, and it wasn't enough, but we fought so hard, and I'm proud of these guys for everything.
I obviously didn't have it rolling. I obviously didn't have it going during the game. 0 for 2. Just couldn't get it going, I guess, you know, just giving up defensive, assignments there, but that's neither here or there. You know, the guys who was in the group towards the end, they really showed the fight. It was really impressive to show the heart that we had.
This was a tight, together group, which found it very difficult to say goodbye to this senior class.
They brought me in, welcomed me in with open arms. They didn't have to do that, man. They already had their stuff going on here, and they could have not wanted me to come, but they invited me. And also guys like Graham, Dusty, B-Huff, all those guys that came in with me for these 2 years have been super special, man. And like I said, relationships forever. Love those guys.
To see it come to that, and I mean, we've got each other for life. Like, we're all going to be in each other's corner. But to see it come to an end and be the last time that this group will be able to share the court together is pretty sad.
Just big credit to my guys, man, especially my senior group who has to leave after this. It's been a hell of a ride. It's been a pleasure. They've made me so much better, not only as a basketball player, but as a person. And just way of life, man. It's been special.
I mean, this program has given me so much, on and off the court that I can't thank them enough. This has been a blessing, to put this jersey on for the past 4.5 years. Hasn't sunk in yet that it's over, but it will soon, and it's gonna be a rough time for me.
Well, you hear the emotion in the voice of Mr. Zag, Ben Gregg. Benny saying goodbye to the Gonzaga program after 4.5 great years in Spokane as the March Madness journey for this year's Zag team ends in the round of 32 here in Wichita. For now, reporting at Intrust Bank Arena, Andrew Quinn, KREM 2 Sports.
Yeah, what a senior class. And with the Gonzaga men's second round loss behind them this morning, the question is what comes next? That's what a lot of people are asking. They have 6 seniors listed on the roster, but there's really no reason to worry. The Zags leaned on Emmanuel Innocenti, whose minutes helped refocus the seniors. In the last month of the season, Braden Huff transitioned to a starting role and made an impact. He had 18 points in the WCC championship and the NCAA first round game against Georgia. Looking at the bigger picture, this is the last season the Zags will play in the West Coast Conference. This school is set to join the Pac-12 in the summer of 2026 and will start conference competition in the 2026-27 season. While the Gonzaga men hoped for an upset this weekend, the Gonzaga women pulled off an upset in the WBIT tournament. The Zags took on 1 seed Colorado. The Buffs came out on an early run, but the Bulldogs worked to get it all tied up near the end of the first quarter. The Zags then pulled away in the second half. Yvonne Ejim and Allie Turner both had 15 points. The team now moves on to the WBIT quarterfinals.
I think just being able to come in here in this environment, kind of with like the crowd and the team, their pressure, and just being able to handle that, I think that gives us a little bit of confidence. Like if you can come into Colorado and beat Colorado, that's big. So it's a commitment to them, but you know, it also gives us a little boost of energy knowing that we can take on tough opponents.
Gonzaga travels to take on 2 seed Minnesota on Thursday, March 27th at 5 p.m. Happening today, the Washington State women are set to host the second round of the WNIT tournament after receiving a first-round bye. They will take on Utah Valley, who knocked off Air Force on Saturday. Tara Wallach gets one more chance to take the floor as a Coug. Today's game tips off at 6 p.m., and we will bring you those highlights tonight on KREM 2 News at 10 p.m. The Washington State men will also start playing in their postseason. The Cougs will play in the newly created college basketball crown tournament in Las Vegas. So next week they will take on Georgetown at 8 p.m. There will be 16 teams in this tournament. All of them are teams who both miss the NCAA tournament and the NIT. Right now, the madness is just beginning in Spokane. Starting this Friday, the women's Sweet 16 and Elite 8 starts at the Spokane Arena. Headlining the field is the soon-to-be WNBA draft pick Paige Beckers from UConn. The Huskies won their first-round game 103-34. Also rolling through Spokane will be Juju Watkins and the #1 seed USC. Watkins appeared to have a minor ankle injury in her last game, but told the media in her postgame she's good to go. The Stars are gearing up for Hooptown USA here in Spokane. This morning, we are 3 days away from opening day at T-Mobile Park. Reaction is pouring in after yet another roster shakeup. The Seattle Mariners announced they have released outfielder Mitch Haniger. Haniger, of course, is widely regarded as a fan favorite and was an important piece of the Mariners' quest to break their playoff drought. The 34-year-old struggled in spring training and was recovering from a shoulder injury. Mariners opening day, by the way, this Thursday against the Athletics.
Second check of our weather forecast, where we know it is incredibly mild outside. If you've yet to step outside, you might be surprised at how warm it feels today. However, with a bit of a wind out there, you still might need a light jacket or a sweatshirt just to stay comfy this morning. But 50 degrees is by far the warmest low temperature we've seen so far this year, and it's a sign of the warmth to come for this week. This afternoon will be easily into the 60s for high temperatures, even with cloudy skies all day long. Small chance for showers, but not worried about that. Not worried about the winds getting carried away either. No, just the warmth is really going to be our main headline, and that leads us into this Wednesday. That's right, we got widespread 70s across the inland Northwest. I'll show you where that stands compared to the record highs for that day. A full look at your forecast is coming up in about 10 minutes.
This morning, week 1 of a major event is in the books. Over the weekend, volleyball fans flocked to the Spokane area for the Pacific Northwest Qualifier, also known as the PNQ. The event draws in tens of thousands of athletes and fans with around 800 teams playing over 2 weekends. Organizers say the tournament has been in Spokane for 3 decades and gets bigger every year. The CEO of Spokane Sports says people in the Lilac City for the tournament spend around 4 days on average, meaning a big boost for the local economy at restaurants and shops. Organizers say last year the tournament brought in around $26 million. The tournament continues this weekend. Also, in case you missed it, dancers from across the Inland Northwest gathered at the Spokane Community College on Saturday for the 21st annual Dance Fest. The event featured performances from 10 groups ranging from children to adults, showcasing a variety of dance styles. The event's goal is to celebrate the diversity of dance.
Just to bring all dancers together to enjoy each other's dancing, to appreciate the dance, to create dance awareness in Spokane.
The dance styles included Latin, Highland, folkloric, Middle Eastern, and more.